Okay, hello and good morning, everyone. Welcome to Easy Markets Daily Picture International with me, Darius. I hope you can see me and hear me well. Let me just bring up my microphone a little bit closer to myself. So, yep. I hope you're having, guys, a fantastic start of Wednesday. Yep, today is the middle of the week. So yeah, we're gonna have a very quick look at the markets, the usual stuff, basically, where we're gonna take a look at the technicals, what's happening right now in the economy. But yeah, before we do that, as always, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendations and should not be considered as such. This material should not be taken as an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. Look, I'll disappear here for a little bit from that little left corner, and yep, I'll let you read the rest, and we can continue after that. Thank you. Okay, so now then, also just before we jump into the charts, just a quick mentioning of our Easy Markets website, which you can always check out for more information about us. If you have any questions, you can always reach out to us and we'll be happy to help you out. Now then, guys, let's jump into the charts. The first one I want to pick up here is Nikkei 225. Look, beautiful decline. Yesterday I talked about this, and actually I have been talking about this for quite a while, and I said to you that, look, maybe we have ourselves here a nice little rising wedge pattern, which according to all the TA rules, technical analysis rules, tends to break to the downside. We need a confirmation break through the lower side of it, and there we go. We got that break. The only problem that I have here, I would say, with that downside scenario is the fact that we fell below that 28,393 territory, but we failed to kind of, well, should I say, not, we didn't fail to stay below it, but today we're pushing back above this. Now, again, we do get this retest sometimes of the the broken trend line from the other side. Yes, but at this point, look, I'm gonna. Although I'm leaning a little bit more towards the downside on this one, actually, I really wanted to see a nice good confirmation, stay below the 28,393. Well, we didn't get, well, we got that initially, but then it kind of started reversing back to the upside. So look, at this point, probably, of course, I'm still going to aim to the downside, but I would like, actually, I would only after I get another drop below that 28,393. At the moment, I'm just observing the price action. Although I want to be a little bit more bearish here, but I will actually partially, I will remain bearish, but if it suddenly pushes back inside the formation, this previous formation, the rising wedge pattern, that will give me like a bit of I would say, a cautious moment, and basically because they could, in a way, it could open the door again towards higher levels. But for the upside, as I said before, I need to see a push somewhere above this territory, this highlighted zone right here, and then we'll take it from there. ASX 200. So yeah, Australian inflation. So we got the numbers this morning. So look, the CPI, the year-on-year for Q1 came out at 7%. Of course, it failed to beat the forecast. The forecast was 6.9. It failed to come out lower than that. But the fact that it came out much lower than the previous number, which was at 7.8 plus 7.8, of course, that, of course, is a good result. And then, yes, we saw the kind of the market in general acting nicely on this. Look, the movement that we had here on ASX 200 is basically, initially we were selling off, and we're selling off because of the whole situation in the US. But I'll get to that point in a bit. Initially, we were selling off, the futures were selling off, but then the good number came in, that inflation came out at 7. So in a way, meaning that the Reserve Bank of Australia might not go for another hike again. So basically, look, previously they avoided a hike, and this time I think that, okay, look, they're going to keep an eye on it, certainly, unless something changes, but then maybe, you know, they might increase the rate again, because at this point they might say that, look, so far the policy is working, and in the policy at which state we are right now, I mean, it's working, so, you know, maybe no need for further kind of rate hikes, because again, the policy seems to be operating nicely and helping out, because okay, yes, maybe the inflation is not really, let's say, going all the way towards that 2% target straight away, no, but we need some time. But again, you know, maybe they will say that, hey, it's working, no need for another rate hike. Look, for now, and of course the stock market reacts positively to that news, and there we go, we got, you know, pushback inside this range that I talked about. Look at this, how well this is playing out. So the 7,327 barrier, this one I talked about previously, and I said that if we fall below it, I'll go lower initially towards the 7,293 tick. And then if we clear that one, I'll go towards the 50-day EMA. Not tick yet, but because we pushed back inside the range. Look, if we do fall again below the 7,327, okay, I'll once again start aiming for that 7,293 or even that 50-day EMA. If we continue to trade above that lower side of the range here, well, this is where it could become interesting, and then we could start examining maybe some higher levels or something like that. But and for that, I would like to see maybe a push somewhere above that 7,360 territory, and just to be a little bit more on the safe side. Right. China 50, though. So this is the FTSE China 50 index. So look, I talked about this previously, and basically we've cleared the lower side of this rising channel. I said to you that if we do drop below this 13,000 mark, I'll go lower. Look, we did go lower. 12,821 got almost tested. This is the lowest point of March. We found good support. We rebounded. We pushed back up, but we're still below this 13,000 mark. So basically, as long as we stay below it, guys, I mean, I'm still leaning towards the downside. I'm going to aim lower here, and I'm going to target that 12,821 again, or the 12,697, or let's just round it up here towards the 700 level, and then we'll take it from there. For the upside, I need to see a push back above the 13,096, somewhere around here. And then, yep, I'll start considering maybe a move back to the upside. Nifty 50. So, yeah, Nifty 50. Look, fantastic hold up near this highlighted zone of mine. I talked about it. And, yeah, so far, so good. From the technical perspective, everything's working out nicely because we're getting that little hold up here. However, ideally, I would like to see maybe this one, drifting more to the downside. But we cannot exclude the possibility here maybe of seeing actually a pop higher. But for that, I need to see a clearance of this highlighted zone. If we get that, great. I'll go further north here. But I think that at the moment we might stay in this cautious position until we get some sort of maybe market moving data in general on the global arena. So just hold on for now. I mean, look, it is quite interesting, but a confirmation breakout is still needed. So yeah, if for the downside, basically a drop below that 17,600 territory is required, because at the same time we would fall below all of the EMAs. Now then, jumping into the US indices. Okay, look, that's what I'm talking about when I'm covering when I'm saying that good earnings, but we still decline. Well, first of all, Nasdaq was the biggest loser yesterday from among the top three. So then followed by the S&P and Dow, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just double check that. So Nasdaq yesterday, Nasdaq Composite lost around 2%, something like that. Yeah, then the S&P around 1.5%, and then Dow 1. Basically, okay, some of you were thinking, but hey, we got some good earnings from the the big dogs, Microsoft, who else, Alphabet, all these guys. They did do good. They did provide good numbers, and McDonald's, I think. Let me just quickly double check. Yeah, so it was Microsoft, Alphabet, Visa, PepsiCo. Yep, all the McDonald's, Verizon, Texas Instruments, Raytheon Technologies. I mean, all these guys did good. And why the hell the market is falling, basically? Well, why it fell yesterday? Because look, the whole point is the whole thing is around that FRC, the First Republic Bank. Yeah, that one is kind of dragging in a way the market lower, because the whole banking crisis, it seems like it's not over yet. So initially everybody thought, hey, maybe FRC could recover, because it got a lifeline. This First Republic Bank, it got a lifeline from some creditors, but actually it did it did show bad numbers recently, so he also delivered some earnings. So look, the slide continues in that bank, and basically it seems like everybody's afraid that maybe it might drag all other banks, and if that's the, well, again, to the down. Look, if it might be like a chain reaction again. So one little bank, or let's say not little, maybe one relatively or a slightly smaller bank goes down, everybody starts to panic. It rolls over into bigger banks, and then some bigger banks, let's say, who are less prepared for cases like that, they start feeling the heat. But again, at this point, look, I would say don't rush into anything. Of course, yes, we're having these hiccups in the banking sector right now in the US. For now, I would say, looking even at this technical picture of the Nasdaq, you can see that how well, for example, that 13,000 territory is holding up, or actually my 12,950 zone, which I've mentioned several times to you guys. Yeah, we did get that breakout, but it's a nice false breakout. So what it means that, hey, the bulls are not giving up yet. Okay, look, if we do fall again below this, okay, yes, I will consider, some lower levels again towards the 50-day EMA. And this is what I talked about previously. I said to you, like, if we do fall below this hurdle, I will aim for the 50, and then I'll aim for that 12,635 territory. Well, one of my levels got reached, the 50-day EMA. Perfect. Boom. Rebound. Let's go back above that 12,950 territory. So, as I said, if we continue to trade above this, then there is a chance for this one to move back to the upside. Ideally, my upside scenario comes from around here somewhere, from around that 13,220. Look, it previously acted as a good area of support, resistance. Yes, we did overshoot it a few times. We found some resistance somewhere else, but look, for now, I'm going to put this on the chart. I'm going to keep it on the chart. Yeah, if we want to go look for some higher levels, maybe a push above this barrier would be needed. I get it. We could be missing out on a bit of territory here. So let's say, why not to, for example, just go from here? If this continues to hold, this is a good move here to the upside. Yeah, honestly, also could be a good play. Could be a good strategy. However, if this suddenly, let's say, rises a little bit higher, find some resistance somewhere near this downside line, and then basically fails, to break it, then yeah, another decline could be possible. And this is the point where you have to have your tight stop loss in place. So just kind of, be wary of that, because again, it could be choppy as well. It could just kind of take you out very quickly, take out your stop loss, and then actually go in your direction. So I'm trying to sometimes eliminate these things, so in order to be a little bit more on the safe side. So yeah, look, if you feel comfortable going, let's say, long, for example, from around here, you can do that whatever you feel it's good for you. Yes, you can do that, but just always remember that, you know, first of all, you risk only what you can afford to lose, because if suddenly that goes against you, you know, you have to accept that. And you, of course, you have to have your stop loss in place. That's the most important, guys. So look, in general, I rather wait for a like maybe a better confirmation or something like that than do something about it. But look, we're very close to this 12,950 territory right now. If we start dropping below it and we stay below it, I'm gonna lean a little bit more towards the downside, guys. So yeah, let's see how all that is going to play out, of course. Today we do have Meta. Yep, big, all eyes are on the big Meta, which former Facebook. Yep, so let's keep an eye on that one. We do have Boeing coming out as well, Waste Management, CME Group. Yeah, so some General Dynamics. Yep, there we go. So if you're, you know, into stocks, there is a good bunch of stocks that are reporting today. Tomorrow we'll have Amazon, but I'll pick up on that probably tomorrow. So it's Amazon tomorrow, MasterCard, Eli Lilly. So yeah, we do have, but certainly in terms of economic data for today, we do have the core durable goods coming out. So that's going to be something that's going to be quite interesting to watch, to see how U.S. manufacturing is doing, how many orders are getting processed. So yeah, keep your eyes on that one. Check out the economic calendar for that. But yeah, it could be a bit of a market mover, maybe somewhere in, you know, in the dollar universe. So yeah, keep your eyes on that one. But look, coming back to the technical picture here on the Nasdaq, look, I am, like I said, I'm still, you know, keeping a close eye on this, on these some of these levels. For the upside, yes, if we do maybe, you know, rebound, or should I say stay above the lower side of this little range, yes, I'll go back up within the range here, but maybe more buyers could join in on the break of this downside line. Again, it's a tentative one. You don't really focus on it for too long, for too much, but yeah, could be an interesting one. Look, S&P 500, also beautiful decline. I talked about this one, and it said that if we break the lower side of the rising channel, what to expect next? Well, my target, the 4,096, got reached. Beautiful, mission accomplished. And we also almost reached the 50-day EMA, so that's a good result here as well. So quite happy about myself here, and yes, good move here on the S&P 500. So we broke the, like I said, the rising channel. It opened the door to some lower levels. We didn't create a false breakout. Now what's next? Well, look, at this point, I would say I'll leave it. And I'll keep an eye on the 50-day EMA, and together with that 4,096 territory. If we do fall below all these two, then yes, I'll aim for that 100-day EMA, or even the 200-day EMA, and then we'll pick it up from there. The German index, DAX. So, okay, look, I honestly, I don't have much anymore and anything to say about this, apart from I keep on saying the same thing over and over in every video of mine, probably for the past 2 weeks now. Look, we're stuck here. We're stuck in between these two levels. So this 15,891 still somehow is working out nicely. By the way, these are all the futures that I'm looking at, guys. So if you have slightly, you know, different pricing, maybe you're looking at the cash indices. We also have the cash indices, guys. By the way, you can check us out. We got good pricing in there. Good spreads. So yeah, feel free to reach out to us just for more information. But look, coming back to DAX, okay, we're still holding above that 15,891. And what I said to you previously, that as long as we stay above it, this arrow is still valid. So basically, in other words, if you want to go higher, a push above this territory, above that 16,063 level would be required just for that extra confirmation. This will confirm a forthcoming higher high and potentially could attract more buyers into the game. For the downside, I need to see a drop somewhere below this 15,700, and then I'll start considering lower levels. The dollar index. So yeah, beautiful rebound yesterday. Look at this. I mean, honestly, I talked about this yesterday, and I said to you that I'm kind of leaning a little bit more towards the downside if we do stay below the 101.09 territory. Well, we didn't stay. We didn't stay. We reversed sharply to the upside. And look at this. I mean, probably some of you are already on this and saying, hey, maybe this is going to be a nice little inverted head and shoulders pattern. Well, yeah, could be the case. Nevertheless, what I'm looking at here, I am looking at this barrier, this downside line taken from the high of the 21st of March. This is my kind of cue for some higher levels because, again, if we want to go to the upside, I would rather stick maybe to a break above this 102 territory, somewhere around here. If we clear that one, then yes, I will get a little bit more excited with the upside. So, at this point, I'm just observing the price action because the market is a little bit volatile today. Not today, in general, this week, choppy. So, yeah, I just want to be a little bit more on the safe side. So that's why I'm not going to rush into this. I'm just going to continue observing it as long as it stays around here somewhere. If it starts falling below that 101.09 or in general that 101 territory, that's where, yeah, I'm gonna get maybe a little bit more excited with some lower levels. Let me just put another level on the chart here, this one right here. That's near that 101 zone, so good potential area. Let's keep an eye on that one. Now, in terms of gold, this, honestly, this is probably annoying a lot of people, but yeah, so far so good. I mean, this rising channel pattern is still working out nicely. Okay, look, what I talked about previously, I said that if we do continue to trade above that lower side of the rising channel, look, I'm going to stick to the upside. And the fact that we pushed back above the 1990 territory, that's insane. I mean, sorry, not insane, but maybe that's, that's quite positive. And yeah, we pushed back above it. We stayed above that 1990 zone. So in a way, we can actually lean toward the upside a little bit more. So yesterday we had an attempt to kind of violate that 2003 of territory of mine right here, but it provided very good resistance. I mean, that's the reason why I'm keeping it on the chart, for now, because it's a very good area. Look, so far this arrow is working out, so look, I'm gonna be leaning towards the upside here. This was a bit of a yesterday's move here to the downside. It was a little bit of a nerve-wracking one, but still, yeah, remained positive. So now, if you're a little bit more on the careful side, if you don't want a repetition of the same nonsense that we had yesterday, look, you can wait for a push-up of that 2003 territory. If we climb above it, then yes, I will go further north towards that 2015 zone initially, and then, yeah, we'll take it from there, guys. For the downside, I need to see a clear break below the lower side of the rising channel, and then we could, do something about the downside scenario. Silver, just a quick update. Again, still, again, on a beautiful flirt with the highlighted territory. I talked about it yesterday. I said that I need to see a break, and not only a break, I need to see the body of the daily candle staying below this. Well, basically a confirmation, we need to see the candle staying below this area. We did get that breakout, but yeah, it was a temporary one, a false breakout, and there we go. We pushed back up. However, am I getting very comfortable with the upside with this one? Not yet, because I need to see a confirmation push somewhere above that 25. Or actually, look, what am I talking about here? I'll start looking already at some higher levels from a break after a break of this downside line. However, I'm going to keep an eye on this barrier, this 25.40 zone, 40.50 zone, actually. If we clear that one, then yes, I'll get a little bit more excited with the upside. But at this point, I am just, yeah, observing the price action, and as long as it remains in here somewhere, and yeah, once we get a clear breakout here, then I'll do something about it. Now, jumping into oil, WTI oil, look at this, beautiful hold up. Honestly, look, I talked about this yesterday, and I've mentioned that 79 territory. That's what I'm keeping an eye on. And well, so far so good. It continued to provide resistance, and so far my arrow here is working out nicely. What I said to you previously as well, that look, if we do drop below the EMAs, all the remaining EMAs here, yes, I'll get more excited with the downside, but my downside is only, first of all, towards I'm looking at this 76.74 territory. I need to see a clearance of that one, and then if that gets violated, then my next target is the 75.72 near the upside support line taken from the low of the 9th of December, and then we'll take it from there. Nasdaq, Nasdaq. Natural gas, guys. Natural gas. Haven't looked at this one for quite a while, but look, I want to sometimes run these by you very quickly, because they do present themselves with nice opportunities. So if you're something, let's say, if you're looking for something a little bit longer term, you know, you can take a look at Nasdaq and, oh, sorry, what is it with me? Natural gas. You can take a look at natural gas, and yes, look, after we found good support near that psychological 2 territory, we kind of rebounded from it. We pushed higher, and we tested that 50-day EMA from underneath, and now we're climbing above it. So does that mean that we could actually, you know, see a move towards the 100-day EMA? Well, who knows? Again, but at this point, I'm kind of leaning towards the upside, because again, we're still sitting above the 50-day EMA. As long as we continue to trade above it, yep, I'm gonna lean towards the 100-day EMA. If we start falling back and stay below the 50-day EMA, ignore the whole kind of target. You know, basically, this is the simple approach that I'm using here on some instruments, not all, but some instruments, and this one is one of them. So where, you know, I'm applying these EMAs, and look, I'm trying to simplify my life, because sometimes not all levels work out. So again, you have to kind of vary, you know, between different strategies, different approaches. There's nothing wrong. Look, somebody says to you that, hey, if you have a strategy, stick to it. In a way, yes, as long, I mean, if it's working, then yes, fine, of course. But let's say if you suddenly see that something is not working, look, examine other fields and check out other stuff. Maybe you're missing out on something, and yes, then, you know, maybe you can actually improve your strategy. So, you know, always look at these things. Now, jumping into corn, also something that I look at occasionally. But look, I haven't looked at this one for quite a while, and you can see by the shifted chart here, my arrow has went in deeper here into the chart. But look, in general, it worked out perfectly. Last time when I talked about this, first of all, I talked about this little area, not this one, but this one right here. Because what I was saying previously, that when we were still around here somewhere, around that 640 territory, I said, look, maybe we're having ourselves here a nice little inverted head and shoulders pattern, with the neckline being somewhere around here. And look at this, a nice, beautiful breakout. Fantastic. We moved higher, we tested these EMAs, and then I said my target is the downside line here, taken from the high of the 10th of October. A little bit on the tentative side, because again, we only have around 2 touches. Maybe you want to draw it, maybe something like this. Okay, you could also be, you know, not wrong here. You can draw it like maybe this way. So either way, guys, because still both of them are a little bit on the tentative side. So but yeah, look, we got a fantastic hold up. We then drifted back down. This is the part that I forgot to kind of run it by you. But look, how we can take a position here right now. Well, if we do drop back below the 642 territory, somewhere around here, then yes, I will lean a little bit more towards the downside, because this could open the door back to the 622 territory, somewhere around here. However, if we continue to trade above this, then maybe a bit of a rebound here could be possible. Now, because this commodity does like its patterns, and specifically head and shoulders pattern, well, what do you think could happen here right now? Well, a head and shoulders pattern, because basically we had our inverted one here, we pushed higher. We're forming now. It seems like we're forming now a left shoulder, a right, the head, and we just need to do a right shoulder still. So if we do that, let's say if we do push back up, get a hold of somewhere around here, near the 666, near the devil's number here, and then we drift back down. Well, yeah, we could see this one as potential head and shoulders pattern, but still, again, a neckline is required. A break of the neckline is required in order to, fully kind of enjoy the perks of this this pattern. Look, at this point, like I said, yeah, we're just observing this one, but I just wanted to run it by you. I'm not saying that we should go straight away lower here, but maybe the right shoulder could still form. And I'm not really saying that this is exactly the head and shoulders that wouldn't happen, blah blah blah, and stuff like that. No, I'm giving you different ideas, different scenarios here, and you decide which one you want to take, or maybe actually you want to combine and create your own. So just kind of keep that in mind. So yeah, if you do like trading commodities, corn could be one of them, and because it seems like it's presenting itself with a nice opportunity. Bitcoin Cash. I talked about this yesterday. I'm not going to spend too much time on it. Look, so far we're still trading above this upside line. As long as we stay above this, yes, we will. I will remain cautiously bullish because again, this still could fall off the cliff. If it breaks the upside line here, then yes, I will target the 105 territory, and then we'll go from there, guys. Now Ripple is a little bit more interesting. Why? Because, well, the whole SEC battle. Yeah, so look, still the SEC wants to class that as a as an asset. So together with I think, let me just quickly check it out. So including Dash, Algorand, OMG, Monolith, Naga, and IHT coins. So excuse me. Together with all these other cryptos, the SEC wants to see them as securities. Of course, how the verdict will go, it's unclear, but so far we're seeing a bit of a decline. Look, maybe this could still continue declining. I'm not really sure when the whole kind of judge verdict has to come out. But let's put it this way: if it's negative, yeah, if it's in favor, of course, if SEC, we could see this one falling heavily off the cliff here. I think at least towards this, upside support line right here. But even then, if it breaks that, yeah, I mean that could turn out to be ugly. However, if it goes in favor of Ripple, well, what to expect? $1 mark? I don't know. I don't think so. Maybe like we could go maybe towards that 70, 75, something like that. Just a nice good explosion. But either way, I will just take it from the technical perspective. If we clear my target here, the highlighted zone, then yes, I will go to the upside. For now, what I'm seeing here is I'm seeing some bearishness. We are still holding below these all levels here. I mean, I don't have a specific one, but these all levels here. Let me just, yeah, I think I need to readjust. So as long as we continue to trade below that, then yes, another decline here could be possible. Now let's jump into the Forex world. AUDNZD. So look, beautiful decline. I talked about this. I've mentioned this a few times, guys. And basically what I said to you before, that as long as we stay somewhere in this territory right here, I am just observing the price action. Once we start falling below the 1.0785 territory and below that 50-day EMA, that's where I will get comfortable with a few lower areas. Well, so far we are falling below that. We're still sitting below that, so I'm gonna lean towards the downside. And yeah, if we do continue to trade below that 50-day EMA, then yes, I am leaning towards the downside, towards that 1.07 territory, and then we'll take it from there. For the upside, I will take my ideal scenario for the upside is from here, from around that 1.0931 zone, approximately around here. That's the current highest point of April. If we clear that, this will confirm a forthcoming higher high, and potentially more buyers could join in. But of course, we could already start looking at some higher levels if we do push back above the 200-day EMA. Then we do need to care about this downside line, which so far is providing fantastic resistance. And if we do, if we do continue to hold below it, maybe another decline could be possible. But if we break it, congratulations to the bulls. More of them could be joining in. So let's see how that's going to play out. AUDUSD. So yesterday, beautiful decline. Look at this. I mean, I talked about this and I said that, hey, it seems like we could be forming a falling wedge pattern, which according to all the TA rules tends to break to the upside. But what I said to you that if we start breaking this territory somewhere here in this upside line and together with the 0.6625 zone, well, scrap the whole idea. And you can see why. Scrap the whole idea, and this could open the door towards some lower levels. And so far, it seems to be that, yes, we are on the right track to maybe targeting the 0.6564 zone marked by the lowest point of March. Look, for now, I would say this way: if we want to consider some higher levels on this one, well, what I would need to see here is a push maybe back above this upside line. And let me just clear up the chart here a little bit. We could see a push if we can see a push back above this upside support line, the broken one. Then yes, we could maybe start aiming back to the for these EMAs again, this downside line as well. But if that gets cleared, certainly this could attract more buyers into this. But at this point, look, I mean, unless something really happens strongly with the dollar, the US dollar, I mean, then yeah, if suddenly, let's say the USD declines heavily, then yes, we could see a nice strong reversal here on this pair. But again, let's not rush into anything. Let's keep an eye on the data today as well. We do have some data coming out tomorrow as well, and mainly on Friday, the PCE. So yeah, but for now, looking at this picture, I'm bearish. I'm a little bit more bearish. AUDJPY, also very interesting. Look, I talked about this yesterday. I said as long as we stay above this upside line and above this 89.42 territory, I will continue aiming to the upside. We broke that, and look, my target got reached. Fantastic move here, fantastic trade. And look at this. We're testing my downside line from above. There we go. That's quite interesting. So, look, if we continue to trade above this downside line taken from the high of the 21st of February, yep, another rebound here could be possible. Something like this would be an idea. Could be an option, and yes, we could see maybe this one, reversing back to the upside. But again, for that, look, we need to see the market, the stock market, to recover, because again, everybody's now jumping into yen, or should I say, yesterday everybody jumped into yen because the stock market was declining a little bit. And yeah, the panic kicked in, risk off environment, yep, favorable for the yen. We see this pair AUDJPY declining, and yes, and so on and so on. So if the stock market starts recovering, then we could see AUDJPY pushing back to the upside here. And in terms of back to the upside, well, actually, I'm going to aim for that 89.42 territory, 41.42 territory here, somewhere around here. And yeah, and then we'll take it from there. But at this point, if we do fall below this downside line, then yep, we could start considering maybe a move towards this territory right here, the 87.62, and then we'll take it from there. NZDJPY, this one is a little bit on the tricky side, because why? Look, I mean, I talked about this yesterday. I said that if we drop and stay below the 82.14 territory right here, the lower side of the range, then yes, I will get a little bit more excited with the further downside. But the fact that we are kind of flirting with this area right now, and we're not really staying too much, or we are currently staying below it, but we're struggling to move away from it, further away to the downside from it. So that means that maybe, you know, push back up here could be possible, but I would actually wait this one out a little bit. Because in a way, if this is going to form another false breakout, then yes, it just confirms that, you know, we could see some moves here to the upside within the range here, and then yeah, we'll take it from there. So long story short, at the moment, if we continue to trade below this hurdle, yes, I'm leaning towards the downside. If suddenly we start pushing strongly back inside this range, then I will skip my downside scenario and maybe I'll start looking at the upside one. US dollar against the Chinese yuan offshore. Look, I mean, I just wanted to quickly run it by you. I have been talking about this for the past 2 weeks, and I was saying, look, wait for that confirmation break. Yesterday we started breaking. When I was talking in my morning video yesterday, we were already kind of slowly breaking this barrier, and look at this beauty. We pushed higher, and yes, in a way my target has been reached. I was kind of aiming for that 6.95 zone right here, and yes, good result. We're now retracing back down. Okay, look, back to the drawing board. Will this scenario work out now? If we continue to trade above this barrier of mine, the resistance barrier that I kept on talking about, the 6.91, if we continue to trade above it, then yes, I'll consider maybe something like this, like a curved move to the upside. For the downside, I would like to see a break of this upside line, because at the same time we would drop below all of the EMAs, and then yes, more sellers could join in. USDCAD very quickly on that one. Look at this. I mean, this so far so good. I mean, I talked a lot about this, and I said to you that, look, if we continue to trade above that 1.3537, or you know, and the 50-day EMA, or in general above all of the EMAs, then yes, we could see a further move north here towards my 1.361730 levels. Tick, mission accomplished, great. And then I said that, look, if we clear that one, then my next target is this downside line. Now, at this point, what you would ask probably, so if there's still room here, why I wouldn't be able to jump in right now and just kind of try to drag it to the downside line. Again, because we already made the move, and we're currently seeing that this area right here is providing strong resistance, I wouldn't rush into anything. I would keep it. If you missed this, okay, well, unfortunately you missed it. But if you're still in the trade, you're still holding this one, then look, you could still try to gamble or something. Wait, maybe try to capture another one, but if you have already made some good profit, some decent profit, I would say just take it, enjoy it. Don't try to be too greedy. And just think of it, how much if this little thing here, this little area would make you a little bit more happy, or let's say the profits made in this little area would make you a little bit more happy, okay, you can try to gamble, but don't be kind of angry if, let's say, suddenly this reverses back to the downside here, somewhere to around the 1.3570 zone, something like that. And then you're gonna be with less profit and just kind of thinking, oh, we should have, could have, would have. But yeah, look, at this point, I would say just take it, enjoy it, and it might present itself with another opportunity, especially if we're gonna clear this downside line. For the downside, by the way, if we fall back below the 50 to 100-day EMAs and the 1.3537, I will consider a move lower here. USDCHF, haven't looked at this one for quite a while, but well, actually, no, I did look at it recently, so sorry about that. Look, still 0.8860 is providing fantastic support. We're still below this downside line, so I'm having this simplistic approach here. If we do drop below this hurdle, this is 0.8860, then yes, this will confirm a forthcoming lower low, and potentially could attract a few more sellers into the game, because again, maybe we're forming a nice descending triangle, who knows. But actually, I'm taking a very careful approach here for the upside, because I need to break of this downside line and a push up of the 0.90 territory somewhere around here. And if we get that, then yes, I will get a little bit more excited with some higher levels. GBPNZD, just a quick update. So look, so far so good. We are still trading above this this downside line. We did get a nice little retracement where the downside line acted as a good area of support. And look at this, we're pushing back up. My target is this 2003 territory, or 2003-19 territory, approximately around here. Good potential target, but actually I am then my ideal scenario is a move towards this area, this the highest point of 2022, near the 2.0535 level. Yeah, that's going to be my ideal scenario, as long as we continue to trade above the upper side, above the downside line, right? This one right here. If we start falling back below it, well, I will consider a move lower towards, at least maybe towards this upside support line taken from the low of the 3rd of February of this year. Euro Aussie, beautiful move. Look at this. I talked a while ago, a while away, you know, about this pair, and I said to you that, look, if we do clear this territory, the 1.6254, I'll go higher towards this 1.6437. We managed to reach that. Perfect. That's this one right here, the highest point of August of 2021. And actually the highest point of 21. There we go. We cleared that one as well. And look, my next target in this one is, let's recycle one of the lines. This one right here, the 1.6828. Good potential target, the highest point of October of 2020. I know that maybe it's a bit of a stretch here, but hey, it's Euro Aussie we're talking about. This pair does make some one-way traffic moves, and it does like to do that. If it's trending, it's trending. Honestly, remember that. So if you're trying to short it right now at this point, I would say, you know, just to be a little bit more on the careful side, guys. And if you're trying to go long, also be careful, because again, probably the better option is to maybe wait for a little, maybe a bit of a retracement or something like that, and then kind of do something about it. So yeah, let's wait and see. Euro GBP, look at this beauty. Again, excuse me. Again, I talked a lot about this a lot previously, and I said to you that I'm not really a huge fan of this pair, and this is one of my most unfavored pairs in general, because it has a mind of its own. But I still look at it. You know, I still look at it. I still try to master it, you know, tame it, but although a little bit unsuccessfully, but you know, part of the deal. So look, I'm just kind of approaching this one very in a simple way, in a simple manner. I said to you yesterday that if we do push above that 0.8866 territory and we stay above it, I will go higher. We did push higher, we did push through that barrier, but we failed to stay above it, and we drifted back to the downside. Look at this. Look, there's still hope that, you know, the bulls could kick in here. We're still above this downside line, above this upside line. So in a way, there is still room, you know, there is still a good possibility that we could see a move higher, but actually I would like to see that break again above the 0.8866, and then we'll take it from there. Euro USD, look at this, wiped out all the gains made on a Monday. Yesterday we wiped out all the gains made on Monday, and there we go. This roller coaster ride I kept on talking about on Monday. Basically, I said to you, look, I mean, this whole week could be a bit of a roller coaster ride and unclear. So something tells me, and somehow it's I have a feeling that, again, this is just a feeling, that maybe the PCE could be that, you know, the final nail in the coffin for this week, and you know, we could then establish the direction, the real direction where we want to go, you know, before the end of that week. So it would be at the end of the week. So, you know, so just kind of keep that in mind. And right now, yes, we're seeing this nonsense right now. We're seeing this up and down movement, but look, I'm gonna still stick to my levels. 1.1076, that's what I'm looking at for the upside. For the downside, I am keeping an eye on the lower side of the rising channel. And yes, if we do clear this, if we do clear the lower side of the rising channel, then yeah, I'll get a little bit more excited with the downside. Some levels have to be adjusted here, I think. Let me just grab this one. This is no longer needed, the 1.0970 something. I think we can mark the 1.0964. Yep, that's the current lowest point of this week. We're currently moving away from it to the upside. But yeah, look, if this all coincides nicely, maybe this level could come in handy. So if we do drop below this upside, this support zone, this 1.0964 right here, then yes, it maybe at the same time we could break the lower side of the rising channel, and then we will, yeah, can start considering some down moves here, maybe towards the 50-day EMA and so on and so on. But again, let's not rush into anything. For now, we're still within the rising channel, so the trend could still remain to the upside, guys. But if you're not comfortable with this area right here, I'm totally with you. That's why I have my upside scenario from around this 1.1076, approximately around there. If we do clear it, this will confirm a forthcoming higher high. So guys, that's it for this session. Let's wrap up here. I'll have to finish off the session, but thank you very much for joining in and watching this one till the end. I really appreciate that, guys. I appreciate your time, your views, your comments in general when you leave those. So yep, and your rockets. Yep, that's, massive thank you for the rockets. But yeah, look, thank you very much. If you want to catch me tomorrow morning, then 6 o'clock GMT time. So yeah, I'll see you then. If you have any questions, if you want to look into some instruments or something like that, you can always, drop it in the comment box. I'll try to pick up on that one during that session, or maybe after next session. So we'll see how it goes, But yeah, thank you very much for joining in, guys. I really appreciate your time, and I'll see you later tomorrow, 6 o'clock GMT time. Thank you very much, and bye-bye. Uh-oh, you just broke a digital image cursing us all to 7 years of market volatility. Undo by subscribing to our channel.